Hi, Year 12. My apologies, I can't be there. Got the dreaded corona. I guess I got it somewhere. Anyway, so I'm going to leave this. Have a look at the working if you're not sure. There's some questions in 13E. Uh, I think it's 13E. Let me just double check that. But you know that sometimes these graphs do come up as we look at HSC questions. Tomorrow I'm going to leave for you some work sorry, it's 7E, my mistake, exercise 7E. But tomorrow I'm going to leave you some questions, HSC type questions that you can work through, and then I want to see how you go with it. I just want to run through these couple of questions where the main emphasis is not doing any calculations. Well, you do calculations, but it's not using the tables or anything. It's using graphs and then looking at, okay, what's the effect of either if you add a little bit of payment per month or per fortnight, but usually per month, what does that do to a graph? Or if you partway through your loan, you repay a big lump sum or a chunk of cash, what does that do? So we're going to see one example of each in this. So these are two questions from the book that I just sort of pulled out and give good illustrations. So here we have, let me just zoom out a little bit, hopefully you can see that. So we've got graph 1 shows the balance owing on a loan of 250,000. So that's a vertical axis, balance in thousands. So you start at 250. 7.2% per annum compounding monthly over 25 years. The monthly repayment is $1,799. Graph 2 shows the balance owing on this loan if an extra $50 per month is paid off. Right, so that's the interesting thing that you notice if you pay off $50 extra per month, what happens is nothing drastic at the start, but the curve, the red curve, which demonstrates graph 2, which demonstrates the extra $50 a month, which in a sense is not that much, it knocks off 21 months, which is almost 2 years on your loan. All right, so instead of 25 years, you're paying 23 years. And you think, oh, well, what difference does that make in terms of the total amount we pay? And we're going to find that. So the first part of this question, A, we just need to read off the graph, and actually the numbers are given to us. So it says, by how many months is the loan reduced by paying an extra $50 per month? Well, instead of taking 300 months, it takes 279 months. So we would do 300 minus 279, which is equal to 21. Right? 21 months. Again, that in the scheme of 25 years doesn't seem a lot, but that's almost 2 years. So these things are good to remember as you go into a life with loan. If you can pay off a little bit extra, you can make a big difference. How much is saved on the total cost of the loan? Now, this is where we need to do a little bit of calculations and work it out. So graph 1, we say, okay, well, it's 300 months times the monthly repayment is 1,799. That's how much I would pay if I stick with that schedule of payments. So if we work that out, we do, let me just find my calculator here. We will get 1,799 times 300 payments of that equals 539,700. As an aside, remember that this is, you generally over a 25-30 year loan, you pay double what you borrow. So this is paying back for 250,000. Now graph 2, let's think about this. So the repayment in graph 2, you've consistently paid, it's 1,799 plus an extra 50 per month. So this becomes 1,849 per month. So we would have, the total would be 1,849. It's not 300 months though. Because you're paying less, you end up paying for less months. It's times 279 months. 279 months, and if we say that equals, so 1,849 is my new repayment times, I only do it for 279 months, is equal to $515,871. Now, how much have we saved? Well, the first one is this much, 539,700. The second version is this much. What's the difference? Well, actually quite significant. Only $50. A few coffees here or there, a couple of lunches out, a movie here or there. You just don't do that and you put it into your loan. You stay home and you watch that, or even you just bump down your phone plan. You don't get the latest iPhone, you get the less new iPhone or whatever. And by doing that consistently over the life of the loan, you end up being able to go on a massive holiday because you will save, let's do this, $23,820. $23,829. I mean, essentially, that's like a small used car, or small new car, or a fairly decent used car. So you save that. Remember, this is only $50 per month extra, not $50 per week, $50 per month. If you do $50 per week, I think the estimate is you save about 10 years off your loan potentially, or $100 per week is 10 years. Over the life of the loan, you save $23,000, almost 24. All right, which is a significant amount of money, which you could be doing for all kinds of things. All right, so that's significant. Now let's have a look at a second scenario. So that's the case where this case we just looked at is a case where you pay a small amount extra per month or per repayment. Let's have a look at number 2. We have this. Graph 1, this is another question. Graph 1 shows the balance owing on a loan of $300,000 at 4.8% per annum, compounding monthly over 25 years. The monthly repayment is $1,719. So that's the blue line. You see how it goes steadily down. Graph 2 shows the balance owing when a lump sum payment is made during the term of the loan and the repayments are kept the same. Okay, so here's the thing. Graph 2, the version is at the first, if we track down, we're going to need this later. So let me just track down what this value is. So at this point in time, as I go down, after 120 months, so after 10 years, you maybe get an inheritance or something. The great auntie passes away and you sort of say, oh, okay, and you put that into your loan. So it drops the balance by, we'll look at how much in a second. And then you keep paying the same amount and you end up paying it off in 237 months, not 300. So the first question is, A, when was the lump sum payment made? Well, I just worked that out. So after 120 months / 10 years. All right, that's 10 years. So that's when it was made. How much was this payment? Well, how much was this payment? It's the amount that drops off in that time. So that is essentially this amount. So we need to look and see what that is. I'm going to zoom in here so we can see that a bit better. So this is this much across. So that's my first amount. 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's 220,000 here. And it drops down to 160, right? Because one square is in it. So it's $60,000. Now, not uncommon for someone to 60K. Not uncommon that you might get some sort of inheritance. That's typically what happens, at a certain stage of life, or you might win the lottery. I don't know, win a prize. Who knows? But that's kind of what happens. So how much is present? $60,000. You put that into your loan. Again, not a bad idea. Look how much it reduces. By how many months was the loan reduced by paying the lump sum? Well, it's reduced by 300 minus 237, which is equal to 63 months. That's over 5 years. 5 years and 3 months. Just as a comparison. 5 years and 3 months. Now, how much was saved on the total cost of the loan by making the lump sum payment? Again, we need to do a bit of calculation for this. So let's have a look. This is part D. Well, graph 1 is straightforward. The total is 300. If you stuck with the schedule, the payments, 300 times $1,719. And we get, if we do that, 1,719 times 300. 300 times 1,719, which is equal to 515,700. Okay, so in this case, it's slightly less than double. It's $300,000 loan. So we're not paying double, but we're paying $215,000 of interest. Now, graph 2 is a little bit more complicated. Graph 2, we need to, well, it's not really actually. We just need to think. Okay, so our repayments are the same. That's what the question says. The repayments are kept the same. That's what it says. So therefore, we need to think, okay, it's 237 months of $1,719. But that's not it. That's not all. Obviously, you can't pay the same and then suddenly magically. We also need to add the $60,000 that we paid. That's the lump sum. All right. So it's the regular repayments plus a lump sum. And if we work out what that is, we will get, so 237 times 1719 plus 60,000 is equal to 467,403. All right, so how much have we saved? Well, we do 515,700 minus $467,403, which is equal to $48,297. Now, it's a significant saving that you've made by being able to do that. I mean, 48 grand is not a small amount of money. So you save. It's often good to end worded questions with a wordy sentence just to make clear what your answer is. Over the life of the loan. So a good strategy is you may not inherit $60,000 at some point. That's fine. But even when you get tax returns or even when you get a certain things, it's like, well, why not put some of that into your loan? A few $100s or a couple of $1,000s, whatever you're able to. And suddenly you see that over year by year, you are reducing your monthly, and every month you can take off the repayments, the greater your savings are going to be. So as I said, let's try exercise 7E, particularly to have a look at question 13 and 15, kind of similar to have a look at. Like I said, do some other work around the annuity stuff that we've been doing. This is on page 323, 325 and 6, page 325, and have a look, work your way through it, have a go at other things in the annuities as well. Okay, have a good day. Thanks so much.